Hey everybody, Mike McWilliams, Upstairs to the Right Music. I'm here in the Upstairs to the Right Music studio. Everything has been moved out. It's a little echoey in here. 5 years I was recording in this room, came up with a lot of great music, did a lot of great work, so I guess I am going to miss it a bit. I've had quite a few places that I've worked in my life. And this was a good one. It had a good vibe to it. I could do a lot of work here, and it will be missed. But time to move on. So I got no guitars because everything's been shipped. It's on its way to the Netherlands now. So I thought, oh, and I got a new look here. You guys are probably wondering. Gave myself a new style. See if I like it or not. It's good to change yourself up every few years. So I kind of like it. I think it looks cool. I think I look all right. Anyway, so I thought for today I would have a topic. This is going to be kind of me rambling a little bit, but I thought about I was reading some forums and people were talking about what is the most that you should spend on a guitar. And pretty much, well, across the board, across several forums actually, the number of $2,500 US kept coming up. So I thought as a topic today that I would talk about, is it a good idea? Is it worth spending $2,500 or more than $2,500 on an electric guitar? So, there's something called the law of diminishing returns, and we'll use Les Paul's as an example to talk about exactly what that means. Les Paul Standard will cost you $24.99 if you buy it retail at a shop. After the Les Paul Standard, you're getting into the custom shops. And the custom shops can range new from $5,000 and on up. And the question that I've always had, and I've played some custom shops, I've owned Les Paul Standard, is do I really see that big difference in price in terms of the build quality and things of that nature between that $2,500 Les Paul Standard and let's say a $6,000 or $7,000 Les Paul custom shop? And the answer keeps coming back, yes, but the differences are so subtle that you really can't, justify that it doubling or tripling the price that you would pay for a Les Paul Standard. This is what I'm talking about, the law of diminishing returns. Is a Les Paul custom shop a twice as better guitar than a Les Paul Standard? Let's just level out the playing field and say that the build quality in a custom shop and the build quality of that Gibson USA are going to be fundamentally, the same. Sure, you have a long neck tenon versus a short neck tenon. The long neck tenon would be in the custom shop and the short necks in the Les Paul Standards. The Hollywood overlay on the headstock with the custom shop, as opposed to not having that on the Standard. But are these things that are really going to justify, the wiring harness to some certain extent? But the caps are basically the same, and the woods are essentially the same. The plastics, there is a slight quality difference in terms of the feel that you would get in a custom shop, but again, is it worth 2 or 3 times the cost that you would spend on that Les Paul Standard? And the answer is no, I don't think so. Is it going to make you a better player? Well, will it make you sound better? Well, I think when you get into the lower end guitars, like an Epiphone, so if you talk about a $599 Epiphone Les Paul Standard, yeah, sure, it's going to sound better, it's going to feel better when you make that jump between the Epiphone and the Les Paul Standard, but I think in that case it's 5 times more. But I wouldn't go above $2,500, unless you find yourself in a situation where I guess if I were to come across, I want a 56 Les Paul Special. I would love to have one of those guitars, but those things are between $8,000 to $10,000 at this point. And I have to ask myself, do I want it because of the cool factor? Would I actually use it? I'd use it in recording, of course. Is it going to sound as good as my Telecaster? I don't know that, until I find one. And I got to find one that I like. I got to find one that sounds good to me. So, that's a whole different thing. And I think for most folks, such as myself and maybe you, who are just regular gigging and recording musicians, we're not going to put that kind of bread into a guitar unless we're really planning on using it. And I can't justify that Les Paul Special, even though I want it, when I have my $100 Telecaster that just kicks butt. And in my Les Paul Gold Top, which I think is a great one, that I've put a little bit of money into it as well. And that was about $1,500. And at that time, that was the most expensive guitar that I had bought. These last 2 Les Pauls, the 93, which now is worth $4,000, which makes me extremely nervous. When I was packing that thing, I packed it and double packed it and put, it's like the mummy, that thing. Because I was so nervous about that, because that represents, in my opinion, a huge investment. And it's not even something that I enjoy playing. It's not one that I reach for. Hell, I reached for that Epiphone that I got before I reached for that 93 Les Paul Premium Plus. So it's probably going to be one of the first ones I let go of here in a minute. So there's that aspect of it as well. I'm kind of rambling here, but I think you get my point. For those of you out there who are young and you're starting out, buy the best guitar that you can afford. It's not going to, a $2,500 Les Paul is not going to make you a better player than a $599 Epiphone. It's really going to come down to you practicing and playing. As you get better and as you start earning money from your gigs, which I hope they do come back. Right now, that's even a difficult thing to do. Even for me, I don't have a lot of work. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm kind of retiring from my professional music career and moving into something else to do. I will continue to do these YouTube videos, and I'll continue to go to guitar shops. But just the reality of the situation right now with gigs and commercial work being at an all-time low, I can't justify any of these expenditures at this point. So if you're just starting out, think about that. Think about that law of diminishing returns. Buy the best guitar that you can buy within reason. I think that after $2,500, you're really getting into a territory that, I don't think there's a great return on it. I really don't. Sure, this industry needs the doctors and lawyers and banker guys going out there and buying those high-end Les Pauls. It could be, we could be talking about Fenders, we could be talking about PRSs, we could be talking about any brand. Sure, there's cats that we need to buy those, where the margin is really big so the companies can stay in business so they can produce the lower-end stuff for the regular gigging musician. Because the margins also are not very high on the lower end guitars. They have really done a number of these days in terms of improving the quality on those lower end guitars too. So yeah, the margins are there for them, but they're able to produce better guitars. So, again, that Epiphone Standard 60s, that thing, it felt good to me. I wouldn't be mad if I had that as a guitar, if that was my one and only guitar. I've been fortunate enough that I can have a few, but as I pointed out to you, I plan on scaling down. I'm really going to narrow it down to just 2 or 3, the ones that I love the most. And that's how that's going to go. So anyway, enough of my ramble for today. I hope you enjoyed this little discussion. I would love to hear your views down in the comment section. Is it worth buying a guitar above $2,500 or not? Also, if you like the content of this channel, hit the like button. If you really like the content that I'm bringing you, hit the subscribe button and join us here. I've had a few subscribers come on, so welcome, and I appreciate it. Hope to grow. As I change the channel from this location to the EU, I guarantee you we're going to have some cool shows. We are going to go to some cool guitar shops, and we're going to see a lot of great stuff, and we're going to be demoing a lot more interesting things. I'm not going to stop doing that, so I hope that you stick around for that. And until the next show, which will be in the Netherlands, you guys take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.